Okay, hey, welcome back to Poppa Scott Productions, another episode of Poppa Talks. Today we have Trevor
Kaga.
Kaga. I almost said it. I said it right. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Thank you for coming out and being on my podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, what I'm doing now is on the other side of the camera, just still helping to get workers out there. So hopefully, I'm hoping promoters start tuning in and seeing guys they like and want to hire you guys. So
Great, that's the dream.
let's show people who you are. So why don't you start out by telling us where you're from?
Okay, so I'm from the Pocono Mountains. I'm from Tobyhanna, Pennsylvania. I've been living there my whole life. My family's from New York originally, in Queens. And I got into wrestling when I was 8 years old. I just came home from karate practice, and my grandfather turned on the TV. I saw John Cena. He had the spinning belt at the time, and I was like, wow, this is really awesome. And he's huge. His belt is so cool, and he must be like the best wrestler right now, so I like him a lot.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that sparked your interest, seeing
Right.
John Cena. Was
Yep.
he your favorite?
Originally, yeah, he was.
Yeah,
He
cool.
still is.
Nice.
I mean,
Yeah.
especially like what he stands for,
Right.
all the like motivational stuff he's doing.
So, how did you get into professional wrestling?
So it was by pure luck, actually, because I was at my gym, and I usually go into the back room to like do kickboxing routines and stuff. And I saw a huge 20 by 20 ring in there, and I asked the guy up front, like, "Hey, what's that ring doing there?" And he said, "Yeah, they're going to be opening a professional wrestling school." I'm like, "Oh my God, I've always wanted to do that.
Nice.
Sign me up. Here's my name. Here's my number." And then later on that day, I get a call from Keikoa, the Hawaiian Warrior.
No, Keiko.
So, yeah, we talked on the phone for about an hour about what he wants to do with the school, what he wants to do with the company, and that he does ring crew on weekends. And I'm like, dude, I'll be with you until the wheels fall off. So you got me. And yeah, just been doing it since
awesome.
March 2019. Had my first match in December later that year. And here I am.
Keiko was a big part of Tyler's.
Right,
in
I've
the
seen
very
some of their
beginning.
matches
Yeah,
that
well,
they've
he was
had.
just a mentor to Tyler for years.
Right.
So, yeah, they had some really good matches
Yeah.
together. Yeah. So, who do you wrestle for? Do you wrestle for different companies other
Yeah.
than 1CW?
I train with Alpha Jr. at the moment for Battlefield Dojo, and he's a big part of PPW in the Poconos, so I do their shows from time to time now. So I do 1CW, and I do WDWA in West Virginia, and I'm trying to branch out to anywhere else I can get work.
So you're not afraid to travel?
No, not at all.
Absolutely.
So far, I've only wrestled in 4 states. I'm looking to hopefully double that, maybe even triple that by the end of the year.
So how many years you been in?
I've been wrestling officially for a little over 2 years now.
How cool. So who was your first match?
My first match was a tag team match. I was teaming up with another fellow student, Grizzly Olsen. We took on the team of Keikoa and Tommy Vex at a student show in Scranton. And obviously we lost because I would never put my,
Your trainer.
I would never want to beat my trainer. So yeah, we wrestled. Everyone thought we were wrestling for years, and that was just like the biggest compliment I could ever get. I said that was my first match to a few fans, and they were like, "Wow, you look like a real veteran out there," and you know, that's just really like heartwarming stuff.
Good training.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The
So
best.
what's your finisher?
Well, I have 2. When I'm here, I do a like a shotgun kick, like Drew McIntyre's Claymore. But here, in Delaware, I call it the Delaware Smash because I get inspired from anime, like My Hero Academia specifically. But everywhere else, I do a ripcord knee strike, and I call that the element of surprise.
Oh, very nice. So, hey, let's take this opportunity to let me show you some of his work.
Heavily taped Kaga with a spinning back kick. Oh, sling blades him right down.
Okay, you mentioned a little bit about your training. Have you been to any seminars?
Yes. Earlier this year, I attended Luke Gallows' seminar in PPW, and it was almost like a scouting for TNA, for Impact, and I gave my contact information to Gallows because he's like a big part of Impact. So hopefully I'm just waiting for a call, but I try to go to as many seminars as I can.
I'm a big seminar guy, man.
Recently I went to LTW's training camp for tryouts, and a bunch of different companies were there. 1CW was even there, and everyone liked what I had to offer, so it was really great. And everyone took my information and they said they want to use me in their upcoming shows. I actually got put on LTW's show later that night in the Battle Royal, and Gerald Briscoe was there, and I asked him what he thought of all my moves. He said, to be honest, there was a lot of matches so far, so it was kind of hard to tell who was there, but nothing stood out like really bad with you. If you want, you could email me a few matches. He said just make sure they're under 10 minutes, because if they're over 10 minutes, I don't even bother watching them. And I didn't find out until after the training camp was over that he still does scouting for WWE. So hopefully the matches I sent him are really good and he likes what I had to offer there. And
you should have sent him some Poppa Scott footage.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So, who would you like to work? You got a list? You got some guys you'd like to work?
I have so many people I would want to work.
The top guy.
Like,
top.
Off the top of my head, I would love to work like Kenny Omega. He's definitely a dream opponent. Kazuchika Okada. But like guys who I could like logically work. I would love to work Miles Millennium. I would love to work Ty Awesome for sure. Joey Martinez, because he helped train me originally.
Good friends with Keikoa.
Yeah. Heck, I would even love to work Keikoa again, because I feel like over the years I've gotten a lot better, and hopefully he could see that.
Sure.
Yeah, but I'm just open to work anyone, you know?
So you've been traveling, so I like to get a funny story from different workers. You have a funny road story? Or?
Oh, yes. So this was back when I was still doing ring crew with Keikoa, because he has a huge trailer for the ring, for his 20x20 ring. God, I miss that ring so much. Why did you have to move to Florida? So we are on our way to, what was it? World 1 Wrestling in Jersey, and his car broke down. So we had to drop it off at a local Midas in the area that we were at. And the company had to send a U-Haul, and that only had 3 seats. So there was 3 other students plus Keikoa and his wife Sammy. So they were in the truck with the guy they sent. So me, Grizzly, and our other student, Jeremy, we were all in the trailer, and they were hitting so many bumps. Like, we were scared for our life. We're like, what's going on? Like, why are we... Like,
Can't see nothing.
No, pitch black. Pitch black. We couldn't see anything. And they were like... Because I get scared easily, so they were like doing like spooky laughs. Like, they were making like dog noises. I'm like, guys, stop. You're freaking me out. So we thought... when he opens up the trailer, like, we act dead, so we were all like laying on the boards and the railing, and he was like, he opened the door like, oh, my students are dead. Oh well.
So
that was fun.
I know you haven't been in the business too long,
Right.
but I don't know if you have. I like to ask everybody what motivates you. Do you need to be motivated? You still just fired up still?
Just like getting more work, getting more opportunities that motivates me, that pushes me to give it all in like training sessions, basic stuff like that. I'm not really a guy to be
Discouraged.
like
You don't get
discouraged.
easy.
I mean, I'm my own worst critic.
Sure.
But
And that's okay. That's healthy.
Yeah. There's nothing really that like brings me down, because I always look at the glass as half full.
You hang around Eddie Velasquez, Mr. Motivation?
I do whenever we're on shows together.
I'm just
So.
kidding. I see you guys sitting together all the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he's a good guy.
So how can people contact you? You got Twitter, Instagram?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter and Instagram. Trevor Kage Pro.
Spell that.
TrevorKagepro. On both Twitter and Instagram. You could reach out to me via direct message. I'm always open for any bookings.
Cool. Well, that's the plan here,
Yeah.
hopefully. So I'd like to close out my
Okay.
podcast by giving you the opportunity to ask Poppa Scott a question.
So, question for Poppa
I
Scott.
thought you had one quick. I was scared.
Who has been your favorite opponent for Ty Awesome?
Well, Ty has been to the E, and he actually wrestled against Viking Raiders.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was SmackDown. No, it was Monday Night Raw.
Oh, okay.
It was in Baltimore Arena.
Oh, nice.
3 years ago.
Okay.
So that was pretty big, and he actually did. He wrestled on a 205 Live.
Really?
With Brian Kendrick, which
Nice.
was one of his idols.
Wow.
Yeah, he wrestled. Both of those were tag matches.
Oh, nice.
So those were the 2 biggest. But
Yeah,
as
yeah.
far as in the independents, he wrestled in the Ty Awesome. We'll get it later.
He could get away with it. It's his birthday.
So actually, and we're talking about him too. So
Yeah.
really, in the which I saw him wrestle the Viking Raiders, but he wrestled Chase Owens in the Super 8 at ECWA,
Oh, wow.
and that was absolutely probably his best match.
Wow.
It's actually on Poppa Scott Productions.
Nice.
If you go to YouTube, you can check it out.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to check
Chase
that
Owens,
out.
Ty Awesome, and matter of fact, there's plenty of matches all from 1CW, ECWA, all over on Poppa Scott Productions, so feel free to check it out.
Nice.
So, anyway, I'd just like to thank you for
Thank you for having
giving
me.
me the opportunity, and hopefully you'll get some bookings out of this.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Poppa Scott.